Everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hi. Today we are going to be playing a little bit of Minecraft. Hello. welcome. Hello, Wacky Lemon. Hello, Hero. Hello, Cat Spy. Welcome. Welcome, Pakebot. Welcome, Archie. Hello. And thank you for subscribing, Jan, Sam, and Prenom. Although, because YouTube is kind of weird, I don't really know if you're in stream right now. You might be in the middle of watching that giant virus video. But if you are here, welcome. And yeah. Hello, Sierra Smith. Hello, Surprise Pants. You're officially a YouTuber now as you play Minecraft. Yes, I am. I have become YouTuber. Yeah. So if you attended my last stream, you would know that we are trying to have a Minecraft adventure. We said goodbye to the old VTheorem Minecraft server, and now we will begin our adventure anew. But not without purpose. This time, we actually have a goal in mind. So without further ado, I'll run down some of the basics of what this server is going to be like and what our goal actually is. So I did a little bit of seed scouting, so we're not loading into whatever world. I actually did run through a couple for a seed that I thought was suitable, right? We're not going to be using chunk base, so we're not going to have pre-knowledge of what biomes are where, so every discovery will be genuine. We're going to be playing in vanilla Minecraft. We might install a quality of life or two, a quality of life mod or two, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And the overall goal for this saga is going to be to build a VTheorem campus, this dream campus of ours. And what might that actually look like? Well, I don't have any strong ideas right now, but I do have a bit of a vision here, right? I think it would be really cool to have a structure built around the V and T. So I kind of thought of this roadmap structure where you have these intersecting roads that link together the heart and soul of the VTheorem campus, with the middle portion kind of where the intersection between the V and T happens. There's going to be like a huge kind of library spire of some sort, and each of these roads will lead to a different building on campus. But of course, before that, we're gonna have to just survive. We're gonna have to play survival Minecraft. Hot tubs. I guess what would my version of a hot tub stream be? It'd probably be like 37 degree, 5% CO2, carbon dioxide, cell culture incubator stream, where we roll in good old Dilbeco's medium. What is it? Dilbeco's Eagle medium? I forget what DMEM stands for. Dilbeco's minimum Eagle media or something. where we can differentiate from a stem cell to a neutrophil. I think that would be a pretty funny hot tub stream. Please tell me the campus will have a Labubu statue. That is something that I think will be up to Toxo. If Toxo plays, I think that will be her #1 goal, is to make sure that there is a Labubu statue on campus. Thank you for subscribing, Eagles. Okay, so where are these buildings going to be placed? Well, I was thinking in these different points that we would have different buildings corresponding to Gen 1.5 and Gen 1 personalities. So maybe down here we have like the university building where you have the Archdean's office, theaters, cafeteria, etc., enrichment, a gym maybe. And then here I was thinking like psychology building, biology building, physics building, and a trader hall. And then in these green spaces we can have gardens for NEP. I think that'd be cool. But again, all of these are just ideas on paper. What we have to do today is just to survive. Would a hot tub for you neutrophils just being a slightly warmer part of the body? I didn't get what parts of the body on average warmer. I mean, I think we like a balmy 37. I think we are permanently in a hot tub state. Any hotter and we might suffer. So many people are subscribing right now. I think they're probably watching the giant virus video. That video has been doing quite well. Very proud of that one. And of course, if you haven't watched the giant virus video, I highly recommend you do. I think it's very, very cool. And it's also really, really motivating to see that giant virus video doing very well. I was actually telling Toxo, like, I need to make the tiny virus video soon or people are going to forget about me. Something homeostasis. Exactly right. All right. I laughed my butt off at the intro of that video. I really loved making that intro. I had a ton of fun with that intro. Okay. But without further ado, let's get the chat on screen. Let's hide this PowerPoint and let us load into Minecraft. Let's get going. Guess who also was able to adjust the font size? This neutrophil right here. Yeah, so scouted the seed. I roughly know what's happening. Unfortunately, we are in nighttime, which I was really hoping we were not going to be loading in at this time. Hey, Mylan, I accidentally hit my keybind. Hello. Yeah, so Mylan is here as well. I don't know if you heard them, but Mylan is here as well. Yeah, we're bad at this. The orphan part was freaking hilarious too. I'm glad. I had a lot of fun talking about all of those things. Although, like, when I started the video, I was more of the opinion that I wanted to just make the giant virus video so that I can make the tiny virus video. Hello, Creeper. That is unfortunate. Let's not stay here for too long. Any convenient location for me to hide, or are we just digging a hole for the nighttime? I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that giant virus video, like, I so want to talk about tiny viruses, but like the process by which I did the research for the giant viruses, they ended up being a lot more interesting to me than I expected. That looks like a village, maybe? Or is that a lava pool? I don't really know. Do not mind me. But yeah, I'm glad that people seem to really like the giant virus video. I had a ton of fun making it. Although, something that I totally missed in that giant virus video is the fact that there is a giant virus that is so big that you can actually see it without like fancy tricks. So the giant virus that you saw in that video had staining. You know, you had to add like a dye to get the contrast. Ooh, that's close. To get the contrast to be high enough to actually see. And there was a commenter who had shown me this virus whose name I'm definitely going to be unable to pronounce, that is actually larger than E. coli, and I had no idea. In my entire my entire research, get out of here, in my entire research session for that video, I just didn't encounter that virus. And I think, to give myself a little bit of slack. Oh, go away. To give myself a little bit of slack there, when you search that giant virus's name on Google Scholar, you get like 4 results, and one of them has nothing to do with giant viruses. One of them is like a cybersecurity thing. So, yeah, oh, there's Mylan. With your giant virus video, I really like how you presented both sides to the idea that they could be alive. Yeah, like I don't think anybody is necessarily right or wrong with regards to arguments as to whether or not things are alive or not. Like I don't personally find it that compelling to have that debate. But I do think, oh, kitty cat, I do think it is worth thinking about because it is so consistent with other things that I do enjoy thinking about within biology. Any food enjoyers in this village, please? Any crop enjoyers? Any non-animal sources for food? This is the... Come on. Surely you have a bushel of wheat somewhere. Surely, please. You surely must. But yeah, like I like personally don't care all that much as to whether or not people consider viruses to be alive, because I personally don't find the like I don't think there's any real consequence. Wheat, sweet wheat. So this is going to be home base. Yum yum yum. Is this a new village house type? I don't remember this type of house existing in previous versions of Minecraft. How popular is the idea of treating life as a spectrum in biology circles? I can't speak for other biologists, but I would be shocked if any, like, I would be shocked if the number of professional biologists who believe that there are hard categories of life outweighed or outnumbered the people who thought otherwise. Anybody with a pre-assembled crafting table? No? Okay, cool. Let's just grab some wood. Yeah, like I would be really surprised if in the year of our Lord 2025 that we still had people drawing like really hard lines. Because I think like a commenter had pointed out that like all we really are just complicated chemical reactions. What's up, Mylan? What's up? Oh, are you able to do /game mode survival? Oh. Oh. How do I deal with that? That's so weird. Did you like load in and you were already a ghost? When you tested it before, were you also a ghost? Okay, let me try setting game mode again. Did that do anything to you? Okay. Okay, let's try something. Apparently people can't hear you. Oh, because I have desktop audio off. Okay, they should be able to hear you now. Thank you, Toxo. My bad.
Oh, no.
Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of troubleshooting on this server real quick. In the meantime, Mylan, you can entertain both of our chats. How's that? Mylan, entertain our chats while I fix the server. Mylan? Hello?
I forgot about push to talk.
Very good. Yes, keep them entertained while I figure out what's happening.
All right. So last time I was told to keep a chat entertained, I just started teaching about the standard deviation. That doesn't feel like a good thing to do right now, but I don't really know what to say. Hello, everybody. I'm a server operator now. I have the power. I can conquer everything. Oh my gosh. Maybe... Did we do it?
Yeah, I think you can set your own game mode now, so hopefully that'll work. Got it right in time for people to not learn about the standard deviation.
I'm here. I did it.
Well done, well done.
I'm so powerful. Oh.
There's certainly...
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, very cool. Here's wheat.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
There's certainly a bit of I know it when I see it. I can look at a rock and see that it's not alive, but look at a cow and say, yep, that's alive. Yeah, I think like bickering about what counts as alive and what doesn't count as alive is to me not a very interesting argument. I think what is more interesting is purely the idea that it's not straightforward. Like, I don't personally care what side of the spectrum you sit on with regards to believing, but just knowing that it's not that easy, I think is like, oh, why did I do that? Is good enough for me. So let's go ahead and let's get some croppage going on. That's not what I want. Let's immediately start planting stuff. And we're just going to, I think, set up shop next to these guys. So the idea is to just make sure that we can survive for now. And then when we actually get resources and the ability to affect change in the Minecraft world, kind of move out from here. But, you know, it's lonely setting up shop alone. So we're just going to appropriate and seize this territory so that we can get some food crops going. And how convenient they even have water here. Not the most convenient. Not the most convenient location, but I suppose it'll have to do. But then what is the ontological difference between a block of marble and a dog? Yeah, I don't really... I know it's kind of weird, but like it doesn't matter to me. As weird as that sounds, right? As a biologist, like, I study things that are alive. And I think the more you think about it, the more complicated that statement gets. And you just start to accept that, okay, I have to be very precise with my language with regards to, like, if people care that much, then I will have to explain this is what I consider living and this is what I don't consider living. But I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I am perfectly happy to concede whether or not things are alive or not based on, you know, any number of what I consider to be somewhat arbitrary standards. But I do think that, like, something that somebody brought up in chat, which I do want to acknowledge, is the fact that, like, it's not so much the line between living and dead is like making your own ribosomes, but maybe what is more comfortable to think about or more accurate to think about is that it is a container with a ribosome, which is, I do have to admit, a little bit unique, right? The ability to make your own stuff within the boundaries of your own existence, I think, is an okay boundary to draw. I just also like I think that's, yeah, I think if you wanted to hold that as your line, I would not be mad at that at all. Not at all. Where's your shovel? In my imagination. In my imagination. Yeah, that probably would have been faster with that. Do I not know how Minecraft water works? Are you not able to wet dirt from below? That's okay. Now, where did I put my crafting table, though? Okay, there we go. I'm the kind of guy that leaves my crafting table all over the place. All right, I'll make a shovel. I just enjoy yapping too much is the thing. Oh, terrible. Okay. My engineering brain has always thought that a spectrum of complexity going from gas to amorphous solid to crystal to virus to life, but that's probably overgeneralizing. I think that's a fine way to view things. Like, I think, like, I mean, that's why I say my preferred conceptualization of life is that of one on the spectrum. Like, I think that, and like, it's not to the point where I think there should be any deeply held convictions or conclusions based off of the opinion that life is, you know, some hard boundary. But, you know, people can contort things any which way they actually want to, right? I think if it serves you to believe that there are hard categories, you do you, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But for me, like, I don't ascribe life all that much uniqueness, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't think that we are all that special in a kind of way. Let's see if Mylan has acquired a bed yet. Yeah, I don't think we're unique in the universe either, right? Just statistically speaking, with how huge the cosmos is, there's got to be life somewhere else. Hold on one sec. Mylan, are you in a cave? Mylan, are you in a cave?
Hi, I'm underground.
Oh, do you want to relog so I can sleep?
Fine. There you go.
Thank you. Are you immediately digging a hole?
I mean, why shouldn't I? It's called Minecraft. Mine is literally the first word of the name of the game.
You are. You're so right, actually.
I'm always right. It's so true.
I think it'd be funny to have a bunch of biologists studying things that they're 100%
Oh wait, is
certain
it
are
safe
not
to
and were
relog?
never alive. Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. Sorry.
Nah, you're good. I gotta get back to digging my hole.
Yeah, I mean that's called biophysics. Biophysicians. Although studying proteins and stuff is also quite valid. I wouldn't, they still count as biology. Those molecules came from life, but they themselves are not alive. I think that's fair to say on the spectrum of like, is this thing alive or not? And I'd say, yeah, proteins, not exactly all that alive. Although they can be lifelike. Like, I think one of the greatest poster childs for biology, to study biology, and one of the reasons I myself got into biology is the protein kinesin. And I'm wondering how many of you in chat are familiar with this protein. I used to say that this is like required reading, like canonically required reading or canonical experiencing, right? So how many, sound off in chat if you've heard of kinesin or if you're familiar with this molecule. And if you aren't familiar, let me know too, because I could yap and yap mindlessly about kinesin for hours, considering I worked on that very protein as an undergraduate. When I evacuated my brain with that alien talk, I am of the opinion that at least this galaxy, if not the local group of galaxies, I say we are alone. There is no one there except us. We'll see. I don't actually know, like, I'm not saying that like in a knowing kind of way, because I'm not Z. I don't actually know how likely it is that there is life in our galaxy in particular. So I didn't mean for that to sound like insulting in any kind of way. It's just like, because I don't frankly know all that much about what it takes to have like a life system. I wouldn't be surprised, right? The tenacity of biological assemblies to evolve is insane. Like I don't know how else to put it, but like making this tiny virus video, it really shows you. And the thing that I want you to take away from when that video comes out is that the picosecond that molecules get the ability to self-replicate, immediately natural selection starts working on them. Immediately you get evolution. It happens so quickly. Like if any molecule attains the ability to self-replicate, you're just done, right? You're just infinitely done. You've created a system that can improve, and improve quite rapidly as well. Never have heard of it, not even by name. All right, let's talk a little bit about kinesin, right? Let's talk a little bit about kinesin. So kinesin is what is known as a motor protein. This is a protein that is capable of movement. And it kind of makes sense, right? You think about how big some of your cells are, and it makes sense that your cells would need some kind of way to be able to move cargo from one end to the other. Like imagine a neuron, right? Someone who is more knowledgeable than me about specific neuron biology can attest to this, but I believe the longest neurons in your body are like a meter long. You can imagine, like, you know, if you're taking intro to biology, you learn that cells are these tiny things, but you know, not, you know, hashtag not all cells, right? There are some cells that are freaking enormous, and your neurons are just one of them, right? Not every neuron is enormous, but you've got a lot of neurons that are absolutely huge. And so if your neurons need to send cargo from one end of the neuron to the other end of the neuron, well, you can't just rely on passive diffusion, right? Diffusion of elements from one end of a liquid media to the other end of a liquid media, I mean, it's fast on a small scale, but if you want to move something a meter away, you gotta get it there, right? Brownian motion will not reliably get you from one end of a neuron to the other. So the body evolved. I don't actually know if this is the primary reason why the body evolved this protein, but the body did evolve a protein called kinesin that took on the function of like a mail delivery service. These are proteins that move, and not only do they move, they walk. And it's a protein that I worked on when I was an undergraduate. So if you've never heard of kinesin before, now is a really good time to, you know, you can just tab out of this Minecraft stream and go and Google or YouTube kinesin walking and watch the animation. And you know, you can, I'm so confident that you can say that that molecule has a lifelike vibe. It might not be alive on its own, but it certainly is lifelike, I would say. Let's make sure we don't attract any unwanted attention from this particular angle. Good. Yeah, so go look up kinesin videos. There's a very, very famous animation by Harvard Medical School that was created to illustrate the inner workings of the cell. And that kinesin video, I think, is probably more responsible for career biologists than any other modern piece of science media. At least I think so. Look at Myelin actually playing the game. Reminds me of Dynean motors, or however you spell it. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that you've heard of Dynean, but not kinesin. Have you heard of Dynean because it was in the rabies video? If so, I'm honored to be like the first person to expose you to these proteins. I love the little walkie guys. Yeah, who doesn't love the little walkie guys? If you have not seen the little walkie guys, you owe it to yourself as a Phyther Neutrophil watcher to go ahead and watch those, because they're so charming. And so, like, you know, you could look at that protein and think, oh, that is got some element of life, and indeed, like some definitions of life have like ambulation or movement as some prerequisite for being alive, which, I mean, what do you count as movement, right? Because, you know, these are arguments that I don't even get into in the giant virus video, right? Like you could say, well, a virus doesn't move. I mean, I guess it doesn't literally walk, right? But, you know, if you watch my giant virus video, you know that at least virus is capable of unloading, right? It's capable of opening its Stargate, which is, again, just an insane series of words, opening its Stargate. And when it opens its Stargate, do you not count that as movement? I mean, I think I count that as movement, at the very least. I saw that it's one where it's like a ball being walked along a fiber. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. I don't know if there's a Dynean version yet, but, you know, the one for kinesin is very famous. And I think kinesin gets the better PR because kinesin is more human-like. Like, kinesin clearly throws one foot in front of another, whereas Dynean is a little more awkward, I think. But I do like Dynean as a structure more. I think Dynean looks cooler. It's maybe not quite as of a say-so thing to say about Dynean, but Dynean's kind of thick. Kinesion's pretty skinny. It's intertwining stalks with 2 feet. It's super confusing because in biology they call them heads, but they're not really heads, right? The part that touches the fiber in biology is called the head, but I refer to them as feet because feet are the things that you walk with, right? But Dynian's got thighs. If you haven't seen Dynian, go look up Dynian. Dynian is a protein with curves, I'll put it that way. I've heard of it through Kirkazat. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Kirkazat does great work. Fun fact, I tried applying to work for them before Find the Neutrophil was a thing. But unfortunately, they only hire people who can communicate in German, which I cannot, which is very sad. I don't know if that's still the case, but yeah, it was a real bummer because, you know, I'm very happy to have my channel now, but the idea of making your own content is kind of scary, whereas like if you slot into a team, I think that's a lot more approachable of a experience. Thick thighs save lives. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're saving your life every day, right? They are out there working hard. I need a little bit more wood. Let's try to find a tree that we could take down easily. I should have made an axe, but I'm not really thinking. Surely it will be fine, right? We'll just take this tree and then run back home. But yeah. Are there any proteins in chat that, you know, does chat have a favorite protein? I am very curious to know. Because I'm curious to know how much I can cold recall about certain proteins. So if you've got a favorite protein in chat, I would love to hear it. And if I don't know it, I would love for you to tell me about it. But if you don't, I could continue yapping about it. Oh no, Clockwork Photo System 2. No, you're exposing me as an ignoramus because I don't know jack about photosynthesis. No. Everybody say hi to Clockwork. Yeah. No, I do remember really enjoying the idea of photosynthesis. You're good. I really enjoyed.
Oh yay! We can go back.
I really enjoyed the idea. Oh, that was such a jump scare. I really enjoyed the idea of photosynthesis. The idea that the reason why there is biological life on Earth is because we harvest energy from the sun. Like, you know, this is another like overlap with Z where you can describe. It's not really just describing, right? This is just a fundamental fact of the physical world is that everything tends towards entropy, right? You have a closed system. That closed system is going to break down. Like it is, I probably could have used that for compost, whatever. That system is, and again, I said it and I already lost my crafting table because I'm a goober. And it's raining. Cool. But yeah, the reason why I like photosynthesis... Oh, it's thundering. Okay. Sorry, Mylan, it's thundering and I don't want the villagers to fry.
Boo! Let them fry. Let them become witches.
I can't handle that right now.
Okay, fine.
Where was I? Yeah, it's just a fundamental fact of life and nature itself that entropy will happen, right? Entropy comes for everything. If you have a closed system, that system will break down without the intervention of energy, right? And so in order for life to happen...
Hey, Fi, do you want to come dig a hole?
Sure, let me go drop my stuff off and I will come join you.
Wait, really?
Sure, I'm the only thing that I'm doing right now is planting crops. That's the only...
You can come help me dig a hole. We're digging the very first hole. I'm very excited. But now we've hit a water cave, so it's gonna be fun.
I have no food is the thing.
Ha! I don't either. You're not special.
We can death reset.
Yeah!
Do you have a bed on you?
No.
Let me grab a bed for you so we can hunger reset.
Thank you!
Give me your coordinates.
Oh, 1 second.
But yeah, anyway, where was I? Because I want to get this thought out because I do think it's quite profound, and the reason why I admire
488,
photosynthesis.
457. Let me put that in chat.
488, 457. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, very cool. Let's go dig a hole. Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that biologists remembered one of the laws of thermodynamics. It's my favorite one. If I had to pick a law of a rule of physics to remember, that's definitely my favorite one. Yeah, and so the whole reason why there's life on planet Earth is because a group of I mean, it's not totally fair because self-replicating molecules. I mean, let me say this. I think the reason why there's complex life on planet Earth, let me put it that way. There's complex life on planet Earth is because the sun provided the energy needed to overcome the downsides of entropy. I think that is fair to say. So I have an immense respect for the plant matter. But as anyone can tell you who has shown up to multiple of my streams, I'm very afraid to cover plants because I am not plant phobic, but like I just got so comfortable learning about mammalian stuff that when it came to learning plants, they just act so differently biologically than the life forms that are typically of relevance for physiology. That I couldn't. I just couldn't. There's Myelin. Let me go ahead and hunger reset after making some of this. Not like I have anything worth saving. I get 2 crafting tables because I'm degenerate. Yeah. So all regulatory T cells need to do is hold out a piece of lettuce in front of you in terms of getting me to bite. Well, yeah, you could think of that way. Okay, very nice.
Did you death reset, or are you like...
I death reset. I was like very low on food.
Okay, that's
or
reassuring.
low on hunger. I'm just gonna...
Wait, how did you get here so quickly?
I just walked. The village is
but
the village is right here.
The death...
Oh, I set spawn with my bed.
Oh, beds!
I'm smart. I'm smart sometimes. Anyone who's watched that previous stream knows that I don't know how anything works in Minecraft.
Oh my gosh, which one's mine?
You could have whatever. I don't really mind.
Okay.
This is the hole. This is the hole.
Let me introduce you to the hole.
Okay. Okay, alright. Right.
That was my last apple.
Yeah, that's why I'm just death resetting if I die.
Fair. I kind of want to only die if I have to, or if I don't have a choice in the matter.
The biggest thing I think is that solar energy is low entropy, which allows plants to use that in a way to perform work and increase their own entropy. Yeah, I mean, like, the energy currency, I think, is pretty important. Oh, this is a problem. I don't have any stone tools. Whoops.
Oops.
Let me go mine stone.
You can do it, I believe.
Let's make sure that I can participate in... That's not right. Participate in the game.
Oops. Push to talk. Fine, we can use copper to make tools now. Did you know?
I did not know. That's cool. I'm pogging.
Oh no, now we're both.
Oh god, wait. Do you have enough ladder?
I have 3 more ladders.
Oh, okay. Let me go build more ladder, actually. That's maybe a smarter thing for me to do here.
Thank you, good sir.
It's my first stream. Would you mind telling a little bit about your academic/professional background? Sure. So I went to graduate school. Hello, Wandering Trader. I don't think
There's gonna
I'll
be a cave.
in here. I went to. I was.
Like a real air cave just under this.
Ooh, very exciting. Brain. So I grew up my entire life thinking I was going to be pre-med, because when I was very young, I had this obsession with disease. If you've watched my rabies video, you would know that like I went to Korean math camp for a summer, and I did not have like a very good formal education in religion at all. So when they told me that like God exists or whatever, I took it as a way to be like, oh, I can cheat death by just repeatedly asking God to like protect me from all disease. That's how much like disease freaked me out as a kid. Ladders. So yeah, I was pre-med for so many years, and my parents also were like really into the idea of me being a doctor. If you know, you know. But what I found out in undergrad was I liked the idea of being a doctor because I liked biology, not because I liked working with people. That's a very, very important distinction that all pre-med students should make, right? Like, I'm of the age now where I have some friends who are doctors, so I've actually seen them like grow up their entire lives, and like I know that I am not them. Like there's a certain work ethic, personality, conviction, discipline that a doctor has to have that like I just don't. I think I am a very passionate person, but not necessarily smart or disciplined. I am passionate, like I can muster up a lot of motivation and I can keep consistent if I have goals in mind. But in terms of like showing up to do the work, I think you got to be so locked in as a doctor, because as a doctor, you're going to be doing a lot that you don't care about, right? A lot of a doctor's job is not handling a patient or not saving lives. There's a lot of paperwork and bureaucracy that like happens when you are a doctor. But why do doctors put up with that kind of stuff is because I think that there are a couple of different, I feel like, personality subtypes of doctors, and I have none of them. I just joined. Is this vanilla or are there mods? It's vanilla. I figured it'd be good to just start with vanilla so that we're all in a comfortable space and there's not too much to think about. And also, I just really enjoy playing vanilla anyway. So yeah, so that all that to say that like I realized that like the reason why I wanted to be a doctor was not because I wanted to help patients. There was something that like my career advisor told me when I was in undergrad. He was like, everybody has this talk of like, why do you want to be a doctor?
Copper.
Ooh, very good. I'm going to ferry you some letters in just a sec.
Some what?
Some ladders?
Ladders! I heard letters, and I'm like, why are you mailing me letters in Minecraft? Thank you! Now we can go even deeper.
Deeper. Yeah, so the entire idea of like, so he would ask me like, so like, why do you want to be a doctor? I'd be like, because I like science and I like helping people. Which, to be frank, the helping people is not entirely accurate either. The longer I live, the more I am aware that like I'm quite selfish, is what I would say. I am motivated by my own personal glory, and not so much the ability to help others, which makes me a good content creator, I think, right? Because I think content creators are all ego, not in a bad way, right? I think ego can be channeled in a way that is very constructive. And I think as a content creator, you have to have an ego, right? You have to be like, my work is worth, if you didn't think that your work was worth someone else seeing, then you wouldn't be a content creator, is what I would say, right? You just wouldn't. So you have to have some minimum ego to, want to do YouTube for any amount of time. This guy hates people. True. Yes, but as a pathologist, you do all your paperwork in the same cave where your microscope is. Yeah, I figured if I were to be a doctor, I would not mind being a pathologist. I think that would genuinely be very fun. Like being in a room looking at slides to me, being and helping actual oh, great slabs. Love that for me. And actually helping somebody by like doing some sort of research analysis feels very appealing to me.
Oh, I'm closing us in for our own safety.
Oh yeah,
We
that makes
need
sense. That makes sense.
we need some ventilation in here eventually so that the furnace doesn't, suffocate us all, but
Ah,
for now.
I think one day it'd be cool to play those like harder, like super hard Minecraft mods where you do have to worry about things like suffocation.
Oh man, I would love to do that. I want to play all the mods. I never really got to play too many mods because, I play mostly Bedrock, so I'm excited about the mods.
Yeah, like I think it would be fun to try like a collaborative. I don't know if you've heard of Better Than Wolves.
I have not, but that sounds fun. Let's
Better
do
Than
it.
Wolves is like Minecraft for absolute freaks. Just such a masochistic mod. I actually gave you
Oh, that sounds perfect.
actually give you all of my ladders, which I regret. Can you throw me down like half a stack? Very cool. Yeah, it's like masochistic where you have to worry. Like if you try to like box yourself in an enclosed space, you'll like have doom as a debuff. Like if you are not exposed to sunlight for a period of time, you just start dying.
What? That's lame. I'm not exposed to sunlight all the time. I
That
would
is
die
true.
so
So
quick.
not realistic. Oh, Z is here. Let's go ahead and I'll pause my end so that I can add Z. Um, okay, very cool. Where's my whitelist? Okay. Z, you should be able to go in now. Should be.
Do you know what that means?
What does that mean?
Mystery.
Mystery. Yo, 2 week Minecraft phase. I would hope that it lasts longer, to be honest. I do like Minecraft, and with a goal in mind, I think I'm a lot more likely to actually stick with it. So hopefully not. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, career path. So I'm just gonna mine stone because stone is just useful to have.
Fi! There's a geode! There's
A
a geode!
geode already. Wow, what the heck?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. After you, where's that Oh!
After you, indeed. Are you okay?
Just barely.
I love how you panicked and let off push to talk, so your voice just suddenly stopped and you fell.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I didn't think the geode was underneath us, to be completely fair. Did you know there was a hole that went straight through, or did you just see the
I knew that if we dug down one more, there would be a hole that went straight through because we were on the calcite level of the geode.
Oh, I think I entered Z's name wrong on the server. Give me a sec. Sorry about that, Z. Let's try that again. I did paste the wrong name. Okay, now it should be good. Let's add that to the whitelist. What? That keeps on coming up wrong. Are you sure you're giving me the right username, Z? It should be the or give me your oh, that sounds like I died. Or no, okay, never mind. Give me both your Microsoft username as well as your Minecraft username. Or UUID, whatever, because it doesn't seem to be
Fi, I'm
working.
nearly dead.
Very cool. This is why we can hunger reset.
I refuse.
Admirable.
I am more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, Z, if you give me just send whatever names is available. And then that should be good. I'll use the rest of my life just to mine stone. I'm gonna mine stone for a bit and put it in the box so that when we die, we have like stone tools at least.
Hey.
Where was I in the story? I don't want to be a doctor. I just want to do science because I like science. Okay, so pre-med advisor tells me, so why don't you get your PhD? And I thought that's crazy. I also would like to eat food because the life of a researcher is not wealthy. But then they started to sell me on it. Like, okay, so you might not make a lot of money, you know, but like if you spend most of your day doing something you love, then it's like, fine, right? Because if you think about conversion, if what you do is something that you would already be enjoying and you get paid to do it, and most of your waking life goes to that kind of exercise, then you might as well. And you know, I thought, you know, that is pretty fair. I think that's not a bad way to think about that. So I thought, okay, I'll get my PhD. I won't necessarily commit to becoming a researcher per se, but at least I think it would be reasonable to see how much further I could go in research. And the reason why I thought this was potentially appropriate for me is because of a very important lecture that my research professor gave at a symposium, where this guy, this is like one of the masters of kinesin protein, right? This is someone who has devoted their life to understanding this walking little guy. And I really looked up to him. And I looked up to him not only as a research personality or research figure. Oh, there's another cave up here that is spooky.
I'm very excited.
That's a noise. The way that he had described his research, the way that he had described his research was that he had done a series of mutations in the kinesin protein to figure out what it did, and it made a lot of sense to me. It was one of these things where, you know, you go to class, you go to Biochem 101, and you just get your butt handed to you. It's so hard, all these formulas. But the thing is that class is supposed to be hard, right? Because you need to learn the language of the field before you get to do fun things. And you don't necessarily use everything you learn, but you do have to be aware of everything. So even if you think, this stuff is so useless, the process by which you teach yourself complicated things is really important to your intellectual growth. And so he was, you know, it was very, very surprisingly understandable. All of this stuff was like, yeah, like I could have thought of that, right? Like, and this is why I structure all of, that was not a purposeful death. I just was stupid.
That's fair.
I have nothing valuable. It's just stone that I can easily go back down and get.
I'm being chased by a zombie.
So like, yeah, I could do that.
I don't think they can go up ladders.
Well, hold on, let me engage
They
in
better
Mortal
not go up
Kombat.
ladders.
Okay. I just 1v1 to spider.
Great job. I nearly attacked you there, fine. I was this close.
We are in good shape today. But yeah, the reason why I structure my streams the way I structure them, like you can hear the soul of his teachings reverberate in my lectures, or my streams rather. I don't typically like to call them lectures because they're really not lectures. Where he would lead you with breadcrumbs so that you felt like you came to the same conclusion on your own, right? What makes a good lecture to me is that the conclusions that are drawn are so obvious that you get kind of mad that you did not think of some of this stuff on your own. At least that's how I think of it. Like,
Why did you get string?
I did not. I only got a spider eye. I think I pressed tab instead of caps lock. I only got a spider eye. I didn't get any string.
I'll fish the more traditional way then.
That is very good teaching. I agree. Like, it's not about conveying information. It is about leading your audience, like giving them the stuff, the brain stuff, so that they can complete the operation in their own head. And to me, that was what inspired me to go into research, because it empowered me. It wasn't just a matter of like, oh, I understand this. It's I could figure this out, and that is a much more valuable experience to have in a teaching environment than I think just having facts. Because I know that there are some teachers, I think, who I can't pretend to know like why people teach, or rather why certain people teach. But what I can say, oh god. Okay, cool. How did you even? This is so well lit. I can't claim to know why every single person teaches, right? There's just not like a good way to know. But what I can say is that I think you can kind of tell when teaching is more about ego. Let's try and get Z into the server one more time. Hopefully this time this works. Please. No, unfortunately, it just keeps on adding the wrong person. I'm sorry, Z. We can try troubleshooting off stream at some point, if you do not have any more time to like try things out. That's so weird. Yeah, we can set up a thing where you cast your screen and then we can kind of troubleshoot it together afterwards. Yeah, unfortunately, Z, I don't think will be joining us because it's not letting me add her to the whitelist for some reason. We're going to work it off stream.
Boo, but understandable. It's the eternal troubles.
I found iron.
Get back here. No, it's okay. Keep going.
Teachers will often just teach to the test because their bonuses are based on how well their students are doing on the test. And I can't really blame them, right? I can't really blame them. They don't get paid a lot, and you gotta put food in your own mouth first, right? That's why I think university can be quite valuable. It's because the American education system is like, man. Like, when you have a good teacher in the American education system, you write to them, man. After you graduate, after you do whatever, they are working off of vapors, and any little boost you can give them to show them that their job is worth doing, you gotta go and talk to your old teachers, man. I do keep in contact somewhat regularly with my old teachers who were really instrumental in my development as a person. And like if the state won't pay
you're
them,
in the dark. Why are you in the dark?
I'm mining. I am acquiring. Oh, sweet pants, dude.
Thank you very much. I am the height of fashion.
Very fashionable. It's not just that. My mom is a teacher, and they can be fired if they aren't getting enough students to do well enough. Yeah, the incentive structure is like, it's tough, right? It is tough, which is why when people complain, oh, my teachers were terrible when I was in high school, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is exceptional to have a good teacher at that stage, but in university it can be quite different because your professors are not, they're not teaching for money, if that makes sense, right? Some of them are. Like, I used to teach for money, but your research professors are teaching because they have to. And sometimes that can be terrible, and sometimes it can be great. And I'm not saying that your university experience will be excellent, guaranteed, but just know that, like, at every university there is somebody passionate there waiting to tell you exactly what it is that, what research it is that they do. And I think that's really important. So yeah, this very inspiring moment where he gave me the breadcrumbs and made me think that I could do research. So I said, okay, let me go and attempt to get my PhD. So I went to university for quite a few years, graduate school, PhD program, my number one choice, which I am going to brag about. I always say that I shouldn't be this like braggadocious on stream, but like I can't help it. And if you want to brag about your stuff in my Discord, I have a whole channel where you can post your big W's, right? I think there's a way to do bragging where it's fine. And I think you own it. You can talk about how hard you worked for it, and I definitely worked hard. And I don't think anybody can get mad at you. It's people that do like the humble brag that like drive me crazy. People who have accomplished more than you but make it seem like they didn't work as hard, and that absolutely is just infuriating. But if you worked hard, you know, you can come to the Discord and celebrate, and I'm sure we would all be very happy to celebrate with you. Dang, neutrophils are always so full of themselves, like their cytoplasm is made out of gold. That's true. I think we are a very outrageous bunch of folk. Ooh, water. Okay, that's the end of that, I suppose. Yeah, I also left graduate school, right? I went to get my PhD, but I left in what would have probably been my second to last year. I was in graduate school during COVID as well, which really hampered things. And like research just wasn't working out. The thing about contributing something novel to, you know, all of human knowledge is that sometimes you try stuff and it doesn't work, right? My project didn't work. I took a big chance on my project too. Like I made the foolish decision to pursue a project that was unlikely to work. And I think that if I were to redo my graduate school experience, I would have picked an easier project, even if it meant that it was less likely, even if I was less interested in it. I think an important skill to have is to be able to work on things that you don't necessarily care about. And I was very adamant that I work only on things that I care about. I quit grad school, so I'm not sure what it makes sense to thank anybody for getting me there.
I'm gonna hope that was intentional.
Yeah, that was a reset.
Okay.
But I don't regret going to graduate school. I learned a lot, and I do kind of feel the same way, Dragon, where like I would write back to my graduate school advisor, but I'm waiting to do it until I get like, I don't know, 100,000 YouTube subscribers, a full paycheck from YouTube, right? Because right now I am doing content creation full time in an attempt to chase my dreams. But I feel like I don't want to be like, I left grad school so I can become a starving artist. Like, I don't think that would make her feel good. I want to wait until, even though, like, by all means, I'm very happy, right? If YouTube doesn't work out, I will try to find something else to do, right? But I am in a position where I have a little bit of time where I can actually experiment with trying to make content creation my full-time thing. And it's all about like people's perception of success, right? Like if I thought that she would be happy for me that I was, you know, chasing dreams, I might tell her, but because I had quit early, I don't know that, you know, I have complicated feelings about the situation, I would say. Whoops. Yeah. Actually, this makes me think, is gold used in any way by the body? I know it uses a lot of weird elements, like you don't think of, like zinc. So I will say, just very briefly, I don't know if the body naturally uses gold, but I will say that gold is a very, very trendy molecule to be using while developing therapies. I learned a lot about this on my most recent job, which I'm about to get to, where gold plating, or like gold, has some really interesting properties that allow it to be, that really allow it to be something you want to make therapies out of. It is mostly non-reactive. It can help certain molecules cross cell membranes. Like, it's just overall a really useful tool for biology. So I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't really know if let me go bring some ladders. I don't really know if the body naturally uses gold, but it definitely can be taken advantage of, I think is the best way to put it. Speaking of neutrophils, how'd you find out they're your favorite? Here's the funny thing, right? Like, what is your favorite animal, chat? What is your favorite animal? Any animal enjoyers in chat? Any animal enjoyers? Anybody with a particular fondness for any particular creature? Mine is jellyfish. Okapi. Oh, that's a great one. Favorite animal? It is a tough question. Poodle moth? That sounds so cute. I can't wait to look that up later. Tardigrades. Yeah. You notice how nobody is saying humans? Notice how no one is saying humans, right? No one is saying humans. No one is saying humans. So all that to say, my favorite animal, or my favorite cell, it would be crazy for me as a neutrophil to claim that my favorite cell is a neutrophil. A little narcissistic to say humans. That's what I'm saying. It's narcissistic for me as a neutrophil to say neutrophils are my favorite cell, right? It's a little narcissistic. Right, I am ready to venture deeper into the dark. No existing ladder system here, so we'll make one. I don't have any coal on me, so this is going to be a good time. Although I think I have my alpha set where... Oh, okay, well, that's fine. I think I have my alpha set where it's not extremely dark, because I like playing with alpha. Gather whatever we can gather, and then get out of here. No, my favorite cell probably comes from my graduate research in neurobiology. I am very fond of the neuron. Yeah, neurons probably my favorite. Kind of a boring answer because I feel like, you know, you can get a lot done with the neuron as a cell. I think they're really cool. They do a lot. Okay, so I go to graduate school. It's not really working out. I see my career counselor at graduate school. So if you ever feel lost, talk to somebody. And they had me fill out the survey where they asked me, so what do you like to do? What would your dream job be? And what are you technically qualified for if you had to take a job to just like feed yourself? And ooh, very snazzy.
I have a fishing rod too now. We can achieve greatness now.
Very cool. Do you have extra light sources?
1 second.
I guess maybe firefly bushes count. Thank you. I'm gonna light up that hole and maybe die in the process. Not entirely sure.
Good luck.
So yeah, the career counselor asked me a bunch of these really interesting and good, thoughtful career questions, and I said, okay, I will play your game. And I came up with a list, and I said, you know, I'm technically capable of being a researcher. That is technically something that I can do. Oh, I didn't actually end up taking any of the torches. But what I would really like to do is either teach or be Neil deGrasse Tyson. And so Neil deGrasse Tyson is not a job that you just load up Indeed and then apply for. You don't just apply to be Neil deGrasse Tyson. So that was out. So I looked for teaching jobs, and to my extreme luck, I found a position at a very nice university. One day I hope to tell you which university, but I fear that if I were to tell you, I would be doxxed. I'm not interested in that. So can you plant firefly bushes on? No, you can't. Okay, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. Oh man, Minecraft is so big these days. Yeah, I really want to brag about where I was teaching biology at. I'm so like, people in VTheorem know because I trust VTheorem. They know where I teach. But I'm just like, I can't. It's like, you know when Doobie 3D debuted, that they were keeping a secret about their like professional life that they couldn't reveal while they were in a different life, I should say. It's kind of like that, where I'm like, I so want to tell people where I teach. VTheorem University, exactly. That is exactly where I teach. I can't wait to tell you all about it and for you to experience this grand campus. Go back and put down this iron, maybe death reset, and then engage in single combat with that skeleton. But yeah, so I guess to sum up a very long story, I was a graduate student. I did a lot of research in the field of neurobiology, but I've always wanted to be Neil deGrasse Tyson instead. And now I am a YouTuber until something else is appealing, right? And, you know, I'm still like applying to jobs and stuff, but like, if there's something that's like a really incredible job that I get offered, you know, I'll take it. But as of right now, like I'm using my graduate education to do something that I've always wanted to do. And now I am lucky to have the opportunity to share that with all of you. Having a career is just too much commitment for me. The way my brain works, switching between different things, it would find any one thing unbearably boring and stressful after a while. I think like it kind of depends on what your threshold for novelty is, right? Like, I think if you are a novelty junkie, like consulting genuinely is something that looks very appropriate. Like, consulting is something where you get thrown a different problem pretty frequently and you just have to figure it out for your client. Like, you learn a lot on the fly. But if your threshold for novelty is I must learn something completely different, then consulting might not be too great. But, you know, consulting is an area where they love people with education. And even if you don't have an advanced education, you can enter with an undergraduate degree and then get more experience and climb the ladder that way. It's just the lifestyle of a consultant is not amenable to work-life balance. You have to work really hard at terrible hours, but the benefit is that you make quite a bit of money. Can't complain about that. Yeah, that is a nice ring to it, VTheorem University. That is what we are building in this Minecraft world. We are building the VTheorem University. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, any chance I get to yap about myself, I take, because again, as a content creator, I am self-centered. My cytoplasm is made of gold. Thank goodness there are torches. Yeah. If anybody has any questions about like biology or the career, you know, what research was like, I'm happy to answer those questions as well. It's just that like the reason why I think my project failed is I picked a bad one. One that I thought would be really cool and interesting if it worked out, but sometimes like sometimes your hypothesis is just wrong and then you can't publish anything and that sucks. But also I just think I didn't have the right personality for it, because like I'm somebody who needs to be working in something that I am endlessly committed to. And for me, reading was something that I loved. Like, I love reading papers. I read them for fun, like to you all, so I can walk you through them. But you know what's not fun for me is sitting at the bench and pipetting 92 little tubes. Like that element of doing research was just so not like what I want to do. I don't mind it, but it didn't make me want to work very hard. Do I think biology is unpopular in STEM? Not at all. Biology is very popular. I don't know where that perception comes from, because biology is such a clear route into medicine, and medicine is very popular, right? It's hunger reset. That's just a reset, no worries.
Thank you for reassuring me.
It's very popular these days, especially because like I think COVID had a big influence on the desire to study medicine, just because that was a pretty big freaking deal. COVID. Pretty big freaking deal. Let's bring back my tools, some stone. We're low on wood, question mark? Maybe it's time to do more wood chopping. It is time to do more wood chopping, so let's go do that. uh yeah, like pre-med is very popular. Also, biological engineering is a field that is absolutely popping off, right? It is something like the ability to manipulate biology is uh unparalleled these days, right? Like with the advent of CRISPR, you can do so much, not just like medicine, right? If you want to get into like climate stuff or like environmental health and safety, I think having a background in biology and engineering will be like insane. I know in the US, like biological conservation is up to the whims of whoever is politically in charge at any given moment. But like if you live in a country where like they care about making sure the environment is not polluted, using biology can be very, very powerful. Like you can design something like a bacteria or a yeast to soak up contaminants or radiation or something. It's not a very popular approach right now because there are concerns about, contamination and leakage, and what if we just introduce an invasive species and like makes everything worse. And I would say that those are very valid concerns, but I would also say that technology is progressing to the point where that is becoming something that is potentially mitigatable, right? I remember learning about these things called can't say the word on YouTube, but there is a very clever genetic manipulation that you can do where you can turn off a population of bacteria when they are no longer needed, right? It's this technique where I don't remember what the contaminant was. Maybe it was lead or something, where if the bacteria no longer senses lead in the environment, it just stops replicating, right? It just stops. And it has like an escape rate of like 1 to the 10 to the minus 14 or something ridiculous. Like 1 out of 10 to the 14 bacteria are going to be able to mutate out of this, which is a very small population of bacteria. And with any technology, you have to judge the benefit of the technology versus the risk. Like if you have a very severe lead contamination in a particular area and it's going to cost you billions of dollars to clean this up, well, you could spend billions of dollars fishing out the lead in some kind of way, or you can deploy a $30,000 fix with it, which is just like a satchel of bacteria, right? Incredible technologies that I can't wait to tell you more about. Would it be a good idea to go into an internship at a research lab? If you can get one, the answer is always yes, right? The more experience you have, not only does it look good, like, okay, so here's the thing that I think students get really caught up on. I'm just in the yapping session. I think I'm just going to cut trees or something because I don't want to like use my brain to navigate because I'm enjoying the yap. Here's the thing that I think a lot of early career young students get really worried about. And it's something that I think there's an analog in the dating scene, right? I don't know if you've watched Scott Pilgrim, but there's this meme of like, not meme, but the lesson of that is like, you got to develop some self-respect. People are so worried about, how do I get this company to like me? Well, I need to do X, Y, and Z. That is true. Like, I'm not saying don't get any experience, but what I'm also saying is that the most important thing for you as a developing researcher is to see if you like the field or not. Like, be reflective at all times, right? I'm not saying keep a journal or anything, although that couldn't hurt, but keep active tabs as to whether or not this is the life for you, because I cannot tell you the number of people who go into like medicine and like 4th year of medical school, they're like, I don't want to do this. Actually, like they wait for reality to be right up in their face before they realize they can't live this life. And so I would say absolutely, if you can find a research internship, but I also wouldn't worry too much if you can't, right? I think the easiest way to find research experience is to, I mean, it sucks to say, but like you got to go to like an R1 university for a high chance of getting experience, right? If you go to a humanities school, you might be able to find something. It's just less likely. But if you go to a STEM research institution, they are more likely going to have a spot for you. And the thing is that these R1 university institutions, they are incentivized to allow you to do research for them. So it's not like, oh, it's so competitive, I'll never find something. If you go to one of these research universities, they want you to work there because they want you to graduate and do amazing things, and then they can say, we had this person as an undergraduate, right? They like that prestige. But if you don't go to an R1, I would just say you have to be crafty. You have to be crafty somehow. As someone who's thinking of doing research, what do you wish someone had told you before entering the field? I would say the thing that I wish someone had told me, and they did tell me, I was just really stubborn. The piece of advice that I wish I listened to is to pick a lab with the amount of support that you need. I instead picked a project that I loved, and I loved that project. If it weren't doxable, I would tell you all about it, and I have in bits and pieces over the course of my YouTube channel. But the piece of advice that I wish I listened to is don't focus too much on doing what you love at the graduate level. There's plenty of time in your career to move to what you want to do. For example, say you are interested in cancer biology, but your R1 institution doesn't have any openings in a cancer lab. Do you think, oh, I guess I just don't do research? Well, no, if you are really that committed, then study something else, and it's not going to be a waste, right? Say you want to do cancer research, but the only lab that's open is an immunology lab. Well, guess what? Biology is so self-referential that your immunology experience will be an asset to your experience as a cancer researcher, especially in the US, because the US has a very interdisciplinary approach to research where, okay, you come in, you want to do biology research, but you have no experience in cancer biology. That's okay. What research do you have experience in? Oh, you were a protein biochemist. Well, okay, you can work on the protein biochemistry part of cancer research. So I would say don't get obsessed over your graduate research project, because it's more important to find a lab where you are better, where you're going to be able to do your best work. Because as much as I love my research advisor, I think we were a bad match because I think I needed to be babied a lot more. I was not a very good self-sufficient researcher. I needed more hand-holding than what was available. And, that's not her fault. Being young, made my own mistakes. So I'm telling you, as somebody who did follow their heart, don't follow your heart. Do what will get you your PhD, and then you can do whatever the heck you want, right? Once you have that PhD, then you can go apply for postdocs in fields that you're really interested in doing research in. So the bacteria as the kill switch, exactly. Like modern engineered bacteria for the purposes of biological engineering, like I don't know if all of them have kill switches, but I have read papers where they have piloted kill switches to prevent the fear that people have. Oh, they're going to leak in the environment, cause an environmental catastrophe, be more harm than good. And that might be true, but again, trade-offs. There is a 1 in 10 to the minus 14 that bacteria does not activate that kill switch. And then that bacteria still has to survive. It still has to live in a harsh environment. So it might not even survive, even if it escapes the kill switch. What is my opinion on MD PhD programs? I think they're great. Not only do they typically pay for your medical education, which in the US is a lot of money. You got to pay a lot of money to medical school. But they also provide you with a different perspective. Somebody who is more familiar with the medical meta right now can correct me, but when I was teaching, the meta was medical schools are looking for people with more diverse experiences instead of the generic biology major. An engineering perspective is becoming more appreciated in the medical field, and I think that extends to a research background, right? Just having people with different brains. The thing about okay, here's a little tangent about diversity, right? People think that, I'm not saying everybody thinks this way, but there is a large contingent of people who believe that diversity is artificial, that there is no intrinsic merit to diversity. Whereas if you look at the actual research, there is evidence that shows that it's not having certain people around makes you more productive. It's just the fact that people from different backgrounds can help each other see blind spots that would not have otherwise been caught. So gathering a bunch of people with a bunch of diverse skill sets has been shown to improve productivity and stuff like that, which I think is a really important takeaway. So I think for an MD PhD program, like having a doctor with research background is not a bad thing, especially if you do want to be a physician scientist, right? I did a video recently, I think, where I talked about physician scientists. Was it a video or a stream? It might have been a stream. I think it was something to do with eyeballs. What was I talking about? Some kind of blind myopia of some kind. Oh, the molecular biology of cats, where I talked about this condition where you have gradual blindness in one eye, and physician scientists were the front line of developing therapies, not the basic biologists who were trying to figure out how the eyeballs worked, but the physician scientists were just like, I'm going to measure your pupil, I'm going to measure your response to light, and I'm going to try everything in my kit to make your vision better without understanding how vision works. Like, that's so admirable. Like, their drive to make the patient better, like their drive to make the patient better in the face of this dark, uncertain world known as research, I think is really, really cool. Like, I think it's really, really cool that there are people out there who have the ability to learn so much starting from so little, right? Because in that molecular biology of cat stream, we learned that, like, we weren't entirely sure how the neurons of the eyes were connected to the optical lobe of the brain or whatever. And the physician scientists, they didn't need to know. They were just doing good research, careful research done very, very carefully, communicated carefully, and recording all of their data very carefully. And they were able to come up with a treatment that would then be supported by the data in terms of how things were working. Because, back in the day, that type of vision loss was assumed to be a problem of the eyeball itself, which is such a reasonable conclusion, right? If you go blind, there's not a reason to believe that your brain is wrong. It's not obvious that your brain is the thing that is malfunctioning. But in that case of blindness, the brain is the thing that's malfunctioning, not the eye. And physician scientists kind of stumbled upon the correct treatment without even knowing the underlying biology. Yeah, I'm not playing Minecraft very efficiently right now. R2 institutions? I don't know a lot about R2 institutions because I've been so steeped in research for so long that I don't really even know what an R2 institution is. I do know that R1s place a lot of funding on being research first. And if you are unable to secure experience, it's just a lot harder to make your way. Not impossible though, right? Not impossible. You could do a post back, right? So in terms of advice, if you are coming from a background where you do not have the privilege of being from an R1 institution where there was space for you in a research lab, it's literally not the end of the world. You just have to work a bit harder and a bit longer to get to the same place. And that's a harsh reality that I can't ignore, right? I'm not giving advice that is meant to coddle your expectations or feelings, but you do have to work harder. But it's not over, right? I know, and I've said this in my Discord that there's a researcher that I was friends with who is 10 times the researcher I will ever be, who came from a background that was not 1/10 as privileged as my educational upbringing was. Just a way better, more dedicated, much more brilliant of a scientist than I will ever be. And what he did was he came from a not so strong research background, but what he did was he found a basic lab manager job first, transferred into a post-bac program, and then transferred into a master's. So, coming into the same research program, he was a lot older than I was, but I can tell that he had a lot of for lack of a better term, character development that I didn't have. I had zero character development. I was so young. I was 21, right? I came right out of undergraduate to attempt to get a PhD, and I was not mature enough for it at that time. So I think taking longer is not necessarily a disadvantage. It might actually be a boon for you because you're just like more mentally equipped to work harder at that point. Yeah. Ugh, replanting, but I'm almost out of saplings. I mean, planting saplings is just so relaxing. Yeah. I bet Mylan is having a very productive time. How are you doing, Mylan?
Oh, you startled me. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I have acquired diamonds.
That's awesome. I only know that because someone in chat had mentioned it because I've been yapping out of my mind planting saplings.
Very fair. I'm currently going to dig all.
How's your motion
Wow.
sickness doing, actually? I'm curious.
It's doing all right. It's doing all right now. I think it's
Ooh.
because I keep like looking over to chat and that helps a bit, but I mean, it's definitely threatening to come in.
That is very encouraging for future Minecraft sessions.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep I should just only play on stream when I am looking around a lot.
Says you will slowly be inducted into the Java ecosystem.
No.
Yeah. Good yap questions from chat. Love that. My ability to work hard consistently went down instead of up as I matured. Cringe. I mean, that also happens. I think my ability to do work I did not want to do also kind of evaporated, right? Like YouTube as a job, I can work from 9 to 9 with, you know, a couple of hours break just for like food and stuff and be totally fine because I love this. And I would really like to make this my career. It is, or have it transition into some sort of career. But like the youth of like, you have to learn everything. I truly don't know if I could do that now. Like, can you imagine? I have done nothing but take biology education for like the last half decade. And I think if I were to try to like take a physics class, I would just spontaneously combust. Although maybe that would be good for content, I think. That is exactly why like Z was so instrumental for my giant virus video, because I remember learning from graduate school that like, oh, the reason why we can't image giant viruses with light microscopes is because light is just like too fat. But I didn't know how better to explain it. Like I remembered that light was like a brush with large bristles because that's like the classic example you give when talking about the diffraction limit. But I wanted to like have a bit more of a rigorous background because that just didn't seem very satisfying. So instead of like forcing myself to learn how the diffraction limit worked, I just sent a DM to Z. I was just like, please, I am too foolish and too lazy to learn what a point spread function is. I don't want to learn about optics anymore. And none of these resources really get to the point because it was surprisingly difficult actually to teach myself because the exact answer that I wanted was just not well illustrated. There weren't any good pictures to show me exactly what it is that I wanted to learn. That's why I had to make my own images, right? Like people will say the ink brush thing, but then there's no accompanying picture that demonstrates the property. Would you say that there's a preference for more research in one specific interest like immunology or in a varied experience between multiple labs? It depends. There's room for both, right? Like if you want to be a hyper specialist, there's room for you. If you want to be a generalist, there's also room for you. I would say that in my experience, again, having been to top institutions, I think at top institutions, they trust that you will specialize when you need to specialize. And I think they value the audacity to have a broader skill set, right? Because I think this is my conjecture, right? Because I did not attend these super good institutions as an undergraduate. I went to a pretty all right school, but I got to work at like a crazy good institution. And the vibe that I got was like, okay, we know you're smart enough to learn what you need to learn, so specialization is like fine. But I think what they're really excited about is because innovation happens at the borders between fields, right? Like there are so many problems that are at the intersection of, say, immunology and neuroscience, right? That if you want to work on a new problem, it's probably at those borders. Whereas if you want to work in old problems that have yet to be solved, then you probably have to specialize. But if you trust yourself to be able to grind, you're good. If you trust yourself to be able to grind what you need to learn, then I would say go broad, right? Go for the broadest education that you can within reason, right? Like you don't want to do like immunology and like history. That's maybe not so good. But like immunology and neuroscience, immunology and cardiology, immunology and cancer, right? Like the new interesting problems that are going to change the world are happening at the intersections. And I would say that like specialization is not wrong to do, right? You could be a specialist, but like being a specialist means that you have a bit more job security, but maybe are not going to be doing like really groundbreaking research, which is just my opinion. Like other people can disagree, but this is what my experience was. Right? Like if you want, you just like, I just want to get like a high education, get a job so I can make some money, then I think specialization makes a lot of sense, right? Like every biology lab these days, maybe not every biology lab, but most biology lab, I don't even know about most biology labs. Many biology labs these days require a biostatistician, a bioinformaticist, right? And they don't really care that you know anything about their problem. Like, oh, you know, we're a cardiology lab, but do we care if our computer guy knows anything about cardiology? Maybe not, right? So if you want to be that specialist and make that money, then I'd say like go for it. You know, I would say that if you want to get into biology and you want to like get some cash, learn how to work a mass spectrometer. What a mass spectrometer is it's a very fancy machine that basically it's like magic. I mean, it's not like magic, but like I don't remember how it works. Yeah, I kind of do. You can correct me if I'm wrong. This is my memory of how a mass spectrometer works. It's this kind of magical machine that can tell you the identity of any biological molecule you put into it, which is crazy, right? You put it in a protein, it will tell you the identity of a protein. You put in a huge array of proteins, like a stool sample, for example. I don't know why I'm thinking about poop. Maybe it's because the giant virus video also had like something poop related in there. But like if you dissolve a poop sample and you isolate the proteins from a poop sample and you feed that sample to a mass spectrometer, assuming you've prepared it correctly, the mass spectrometer will tell you the identity of every protein in that sample. It's crazy. The mass spectrometer is a crazy piece of technology. And if you want to make a six-figure income doing biology, go learn how that stuff works. Go learn how that stuff works. Find a lab where they use mass spectrometry and beg
Hey,
the
where you going?
technician. I'm literally just running in circles because I'm yapping about mass spectrometry.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough.
It's like magic, Mylan. I don't know if you know, but there's a machine that can tell you the identity of any biological molecule you put into it. Well, I guess protein specifically. I don't know if it can do DNA or RNA, but protein. And I'm telling chat that if you want to make 6 digits, that's what you should learn.
Of course I know about mass spectrometry. I know
Of
about it
course
because I
you
was
do.
obsessed with true crime.
Now that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Oh, that's a great intersect. Oh, maybe we should do a mass spectrometry collab where we talk about true crime and MS.
That could be very fun, but
Did-
also Astral is telling me to murder you.
Oh, if you can catch me, let's see who has a hunger bar
Gotta do
expiration
it,
first.
gotta do it, chat says so.
Wait, do I have stuff? No, I don't have stuff. All right. This is a good excuse to just wander off into a distance. Our terrain management. But yeah. Oh god. But yeah, if you want a 6-figure income, go beg the technician in a mass spec lab to teach you how that technology works because it's rare. And then your first job out of college, you can try to get like a mass spec internship, right? That would be really great, like some formal experience. Because if you have on your resume, I shadowed a mass spec technician, you know, they'll be more likely to take you. And I actually know a guy who took that route, who graduated with a biology degree, didn't really know what to do with it, but decided, hey, I guess what I'm qualified for is being the mass spec tech. And then, yeah, like a 6-figure income in a research job is like the dream. Spicy. But yeah, how it works, if I remember correctly, is that you take a protein sample, you ionize it, as in like you smash a bunch of energy into it to make them ions, like these peptides. Sorry, let me back up. My bad. Again, the hitting of the wrong button.
It is a constant.
You take. Oh god. Oh, I lost them. Nice. You take your protein slop and you use enzymes called peptidases or proteases, and they break the protein up into manageable chunks. And because these manageable chunks have a distinct mass to charge ratio, they each have a unique fingerprint, right? You can imagine that a protein that has been chopped up into various fragments, one of those fragments is like, I don't know, serine, asparagine, threonine, aspartic acid. That's like one fragment. That fragment will have a unique mass to charge ratio because all amino acids are slightly different. And so when you ionize them, you can kind of normalize for their intrinsic charge. You fire that through the machine. There's some magic stuff that happens in between, and you get a readout of the identity of that peptide. And if you have enough of these peptides, you can piece together what the peptide originally was. And I think that's kind of amazing. Let's check in on how our farm is doing. While I catch up on chat. Oh god, Mylan is... I can't believe Mylan made it. I don't have any food. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Oh god, I'm so dead. Let's see. It looks like someone in chat knows how a mass spectrometer works, so they're probably right, and my memory is probably not completely right. Running. Oh god. Oh god. My train. Oh god. Juked. Would you say that sentiment holds true to a physician scientist standpoint in terms of diversity? To be honest, I think physician scientists can study whatever the hell they want, and it doesn't make a huge difference. Maybe that's insulting, but I feel like your job as a physician is the thing that comes first, and your research will be contingent upon the topic that you picked. Whereas, like, yeah, like I think if you want to do research as a physician scientist and you care deeply about what the topic is, then I think, you know, you can go deep, and I don't think that's the worst. Because there's less opportunity for you to do research because you have to be a whole freaking doctor too, right? Whereas if you're a researcher, all of your time is devoted to research. So having a diverse skill set and the additional time you need to dive deep into the skill set that you need is quite valuable. So I'd say physician scientist, I think it's a little different, I think. Thanks for subscribing, CS Space. I recently discovered your channel and I love it. My mind is still blown about the existence of Archaea. That's awesome. I love that. And I really like that video too. It brings me such fond and nostalgic memory because Toxo and I were actually on vacation while I was editing that video, and Toxo was drawing assets for that video. It was a lovely, we were like by the beach with Wi-Fi. And, you know, you could say that, like, you know, that's bad work-life balance to be at a lovely beach and instead of relaxing, I'm like grinding a YouTube video. But I actually think that it was the most fun vacation I've ever had in my life. The aesthetics of like being at a beachfront and having a watered down margarita while I make an Archaea video is like, that's peak. If I could live my whole life like that, I would. It was amazing, and it's a great video too. It's sitting at 6 digits right now, which I'm honestly very surprised by. I was not expecting the Archaea video to do numbers, but I'm glad that it that people loved it. Although it is like out of date immediately, right? Like I think shortly afterwards, or maybe even during when I was making the video, it came out that Archaea, there are Archaea associated with disease. I haven't read the papers myself, so I'm not gonna claim that they are responsible for the diseases, but they sure are looking like they could contribute. You need to break into small chunks to figure it out, charge it, and then the atoms. Nice, nice. Yeah, it's been a long time since I thought about mass spectrometry, but again, yeah, if you want a job, that is a good job to have. Yeah. I think we got. Oh, wait, let me check on the farm to see how much wheat has grown. Oh yes, wheat, and then I will probably call it a stream after I harvest all this. It is bedtime, and Perkinji needs to be fed too. Oh, food! Now we don't have to hunger reset. Now we don't have to hunger reset. Yes. And, you know, it might infuriate you that I'm not collecting everything, but I just don't care enough. We have food, it's chill, I enjoy it. Saves us from having a death reset, and will make our next Minecraft adventure all that more tolerable now that we actually have a source of real food. Yeah, I will dump the stuff back at the swamp. Where is the swamp? Ooh, okay. Let me go ahead and sleep first. Out of here. Archaea are so chill that you need to make a video about them on a beach. Yeah, exactly, right? Isn't that fun? I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, the whole vibe of like an organism that doesn't have a pathogenic bone in its body being done chill on a beach with a margarita is like, that's goals, man. That's goals. I really want to do it again. Never actually had a job that involved mass spectrometry. I just learned about how it works in school. That's awesome. It's such an important technology too, and it's also like bait. Because it is, I kind of view mass spectrometry as like pseudo ChatGPT, where it is bad for people's ability to form interesting and good and novel hypotheses, because once you learn about the technology, your immediate reaction is, I just want to apply this technology to everything I do. Everything becomes a mass spectrometry problem when you learn it. When you learn about mass spectrometry, you just become like this guy that just it changes you. It changes you when you learn about it, I think. I think the spawn is this way. We drop the food in, and then we call it a night. Right? This is where the jungle was, right? If not, I might just have to call it anyway. Because Perkinji is hungry. Oh, there's the campfire. Okay, cool. Cool. I come bringing gifts in exchange for pacifism and a truce.
Oh, thank you. I'm not agreeing to anything, but I will consider it.
We have food. We have discovered agriculture. I'm also logging because it's bedtime. I'll say goodbye to my chat, so I'll say goodbye to your chat. Bye, Mylan's chat. Bye, my own chat. It is bedtime for me. Bye, y'all.
Awfully convenient, because my chat is telling me to rob you.
Well, you can attempt to rob me before I log out, but bye, y'all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.